It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. And I don't know, Ron, do we want to put a name on this group that you have with us here today?
Yeah, we sure do. We are the Realtor Association
Of Indiana
of
County?
Indiana, Westmoreland, and Mon Valley.
Wow, that
Yes.
is a very large area. Our conversation with the Realtors, brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted Best Personal Injury Law Firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. That, of course, was the voice of Ron Larch, and many folks are familiar with Ron. Of course, used to be over on this side of the microphone back in the day. Ron, you've got a couple of folks in the studio with you today. Why don't you introduce them?
Yes, I sure will. First, I'd like to introduce our president, Tracey Miscik, and she lives in Greensburg, but she is our president, and Justin Capouellez, and he is our field representative for the Realtor Group. Now, I'm going to turn it over to Tracey because she is our president, and she's going to go over, because I think a lot of times, and I know I do, what is a realtor? You know, what do we do? You see all the commercials and everything, but a lot of times people think, you know, what do we do? Do we just sell houses?
Boy, Tracey, he lobbed a softball at you.
He did lob a softball at me.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
did. He certainly did.
So take your swing here.
So a realtor versus a real estate agent. Realtors are expected to follow a strict code of ethics. We take classes. We're required to take classes for the code of ethics for our practices to make sure that we do a better job and we're held to a higher standard for our clients and our consumers and our customers.
Yeah. Now, for you, the Ron laid out a pretty wide region. That really covers a lot of ground here in Western PA, doesn't it?
So we are our acronym is RAWIM, Realtors Association of Westmoreland, Indiana, and Mon Valley. We actually merged with Indiana and Mon Valley back in 2014. So we are a board of, we have 560 plus members. We're a pretty big board now.
Yeah.
And our board of directors consists of, there's probably 17 of us. So I'm the current president right now, and it's been an amazing year. We've done so much stuff. It's been a great year.
Yeah. And Justin, you're the field representative. Now, what does that entail? What do you do?
So I handle government affairs and advocacy services for the Realtors Association.
And does that mean that you actually meet with legislators and lawmakers?
I do.
Yeah. And what are some of the issues that you talk about with them?
Well, I primarily handle local issues, so a lot of those issues would involve short-term rentals, transfer tax, zoning, things like that.
And you advocate for clients, I would assume?
Yes, for our members.
For your member clients. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and I would assume as well that that keeps you kind of busy because you're dealing with a lot of different authorities, aren't you?
Yeah, Pennsylvania has a lot of local governments to watch over.
Yeah, yeah. Ron, let's get you back in here and talk about Indiana County.
Okay.
And what's going on in this county in relation to the overall organization.
Well, Indiana County real estate is doing fairly well, but you know, inventory is low. You know, right now we only have a 2.9 month supply of inventory here in Indiana County. You know, that's a change month over month of 3%. You know, if we're down, so there's not a lot out there to be bought, but people are still buying, even with interest rates the way they are. People are still buying.
So you've got people in the market looking for places that they can make their own.
Correct.
But not a lot to choose from around in Indiana County.
Correct. Now, there's a lot of reasons that may be. You know, interest rates are rising, so people are holding tight and maybe not moving on to the bigger home, or you know, selling and maybe moving somewhere else. So yeah, it is tough with inventory. You know, inventory 12-month change, it's down 20%.
Yeah.
You know, in 12 months.
Well, Tracey, how do you change those numbers around? Because obviously, if you've got people that are in the market looking for a place, you want to have as much to offer them as you possibly can.
Right. It's really not up to us, honestly. It's, you know, we're kind of a victim of the market right now, and sellers, or if they're selling or buying, and buyers with interest rates, people are, I would say agents are starting to get creative, trying to come up with ways to help people purchase homes and, you know, just we use a lot of social media, throwing it out there. Is there anybody looking for this? Or I'm getting this, I have a buyer that's looking for this. Anybody thinking about selling? So it's tough. I mean, the market's, for us, we do the best we can.
Yeah, you're basically at the mercy of the people and,
We are.
and what they want to do with their properties.
Right.
And I don't know that you have all that much ability to nudge somebody in one direction or another.
Not really. Not really.
Yeah.
Try to. I mean, I'm trying to sell my parents' house. They're like, you want to list your house?
Well, that becomes the challenge.
Yeah.
We do have an older population, and older folks sometimes move, and they downsize,
Right.
or they might, of course, pass on. That's something that the family is left to deal with. That property might become available. People also like to go to warmer climates when they get older.
Yes, correct.
And so that's a couple of ways that a property might become available. But for somebody who is thinking about getting into the market and maybe looking to move, we don't want just always to be a sideways move. I'm going to sell my property and I'll take up one of the other properties.
Right.
So you've got a big challenge ahead of you, don't
Yeah.
you?
We do.
Yeah. All right. So that all being the case, what are some of the ways that you approach it?
What I would say is, if you're looking to purchase a property, if you're looking to get into the market and buy a home, first time home buyer, maybe you're older and you want to downsize. We just had as realtors, we have a vendor fair once a year, and there were lending institutions all through the vendor fair,
Right.
just giving us tons of stuff. It's mind-boggling, all the different programs that are out there. So, of course, interest rates are going up, and that is challenging for everybody, and that does, our market, that does affect our market, that does affect our business. Interest rates are very important, but don't be frightened because there's so many programs out there that you can get into that might make it. Everybody has different needs. Everybody has a different plan, but there is a program out there, and we're not bankers, but when we go to these. When we see bankers, they're always saying, "Hey, we got this program, or we got first time home buyer program, or we got 10% down, or 5% down, or no money down," and it just goes on and on. So there's something out there for everyone.
Justin, I'm interested in you and your dealings with authorities of one sort or another, regulatory, whatever it might be. Zoning, I would assume, would be a really big issue with you, and certain municipalities might have more advantageous zoning ordinances than another, which would increase your flexibility, wouldn't it not? Would it not, as a realtor?
Yeah, I believe that that making zoning more flexible would increase the uses for the property, and that could also result in greater financial gain for the owner of that property.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah, well, we're talking as well about a regional organization, so I would assume that you're not shy about saying maybe somebody from Indiana County wants to move into one of the other counties within your region. Somebody from one of those other counties might want to move into here to Indiana County as well.
Yeah.
And that's where you guys can help as an organization.
Yeah. Call your local realtor.
There you go. There you go. Well, that's what you do. So
Yep.
how do we do that? What's the best way to get in touch with you as an organization or with an individual realtor?
So we work with the state, considered it's PAR, Pennsylvania Association of Realtors, and if anybody would want to reach out, they could reach out to myself as president. They could reach out to our local Pennsylvania Association staff member. There's an email, there's a website that they could reach in. Or like I said, just call your local realtor and, they'll guide you with whatever you might need.
There you go. There you go. All right. Hey, folks, thanks for coming in to visit with us.
Thank
today.
you.
Hey, Todd, thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. 22 and a half after 9 o'clock. We'll do Money Matters in just a moment or so. Coming up in our next half hour, Beth Finnegan joins us from the Indiana County Humane Society. Indiana in the Morning, as always, presented by First Commonwealth Bank. Time to be first, member FDIC. CBS Sports coming up second or so. Here's Money Matters with Aaron Rael.